So we're going to run an Agarose gel. We have our gel tank, our gel tray, our gel comb, and some blockers that we use for helping to pour the gel. Okay, so this just fits into here. You line up these little notches with these pieces on the side. And each of these, one fits here, one fits down on the other end. This now creates an area where we could pour a liquid Agarose gel into it, and it won't spill over into the rest of the gel tank. We place our comb into these little notches, and so this is all assembled. So I have a gel solution that I've already made. This is a 1.5% Agarose gel with in 1x TAE, which is tris acetate EDTA buffer, and it has ethidium bromide in it, so we have to be careful with this. So we pour this into the gel tank. We pour it so it goes about halfway up the comb. Okay. And now we need to wait for that to polymerize, and we'll come back. We'll pause here and come back when that's done. Okay, our gel is now polymerized. You can see that it's a bit more opaque, it's solid. Take these little guys out. Inside, the gel is now really solid. You take out our comb. Some people like to take the comb out after they add buffer in here. It has never mattered to me. And so our gel is now going to be ready to be loaded as soon as we add some 1x TAE. So this is just chambers to hold the buffer. And we want to eventually cover the entire gel. All right. Okay, so here is our gel. And we have our samples from our PCR, for our motility PCR. I also have a DNA size standard right here. That is. And then we're just going to load our samples. Okay. So I'm going to load the ladder in the first lane. And the best way to do this, I usually put my hand down to stabilize tip, and I put it so that it goes. I'll lift this up and just sort of show you this way, hopefully. So that it goes in length. If you can see that the wells, this goes in lengthwise like this, and then you don't poke into the gel. All right, so that's what I'm going to be doing here. And load my sample. I get a new tip. So I'm loading DNA size standards, followed by the modal sample, the non-modal sample, and then finally our negative control, which has no template DNA in it. This just lets us know that we don't have any sort of contamination in our PCR. Okay, so they're all loaded. Get some things out of our way. And so we have a lid that goes on here. Make sure that you put it on the correct way, black to black, red to red, where black is negative, and our DNA is negatively charged, so it's going to move from the negative end to the positive end. And then we put this into our power supply. Okay, so we turn our power supply on. Plug it in first. Okay, turn our power supply on. Hopefully you can see that. Then we have this little switch here, which toggles between volts, milliamps, and time. We're going to set our volts to 175. All right, so I'm going to tell you this. Most labs that when they run the gels, nobody runs them this high. I figured this out when I was in grad school, and I don't like to wait for gels to run, so I run them at a very high voltage. And as long as you don't run them for too long, everything is just fine. Okay, and then we're going to set our timer for 15 minutes. And then we will hit our little start button here. So now it should be running. We should have, this is our timer. This shows what our volts are. And we should have current, which we do. We will leave it on timer and we'll count down. I'll take a little pause and it will come back and we'll finish this off when it's done. Okay, so our gel has completed running. We're going to turn off our power supply. Take off our lid, set this aside, back here. And we have our gel in here. And you can see, we're holding the gel up, get it, that the dyes have moved through the gel from the well. With bromophenol blue at the bottom. And put this into a container. And I'm going to try to set up a way to show you what it looks like. We're going to expose it to UV light. There's ethidium bromide in this gel. When you irradiate it with UV light, it should fluoresce orange. And hopefully, if I can I'll clean some stuff out and set this up, and I'll be back when that's ready. Okay, so very proud of myself. I've designed this so we can actually see the gel. So here's a UV light box. You can see the band. So I'm just going to have the ladder. Point things here. Not really. So here we have the ladder. Next to the ladder is the modal product. Next to that is the non-modal product. And next to that one is the no DNA control. There is no band in there, which is good. We see larger product in the modal one, which indicates that there is a transposon, which is absent in the non-modal. This should be about 1,600 for the modal and about 500 for the non-modal, as that is. So this looks good. The other thing you see is orange up here. That's the ethidium bromide in the gel, and you see very blue on the bottom. That's because the ethidium bromide actually moves in the opposite direction that the DNA does. So the longer you run the gel, the DNA will move to the top in this case. The ethidium bromide moves from the bottom to top. Eventually, you will remove all the ethidium from your DNA. You won't be able to see anything. Okay, so that's for the PCR and the gel running. Hope you enjoyed it.